So, heading into Game 2, Ninkazi versus Endersword. Ninkazi playing for Guns and Roaches and Endersword, although with a listed clan of IDGI, which I don't really know what is, playing for eSports. Alright, got the game loaded in, and away we go. As soon as it finishes loading, anyway. So, spawning in the upper left here on Daedalus Point, which is our map for the second game of this best of 3 between two players from Guns and Roaches and LA eSports. Spawning in the upper left, we have Endersword playing for LA eSports with a listed clan of IDGI. Perhaps I'll ask him sometime and have him let me know what that means. So, spawning in the lower right, we have Guns and Roaches Ninkazi playing as our Teal Terran player. Keeping the same colors as before, we have our purple Protoss in the upper left and Teal Terran in the lower right. So Ninkazi took that first game with a bio push after a pretty much disastrous miss because it got scouted blink all in. He did actually proxy the he proxied the Twilight Council, but it was still pretty obvious what was going to go on. Ninkazi built some good bunkers to defend. Didn't go so well for Endersword, and after that there was just way too many troops left for Ninkazi, and with a combat at shield timing push, he finished it up. So far this game, we've got pretty typical builds going down. Ninkazi again going for no gas right away, just getting that barracks down and lots and lots of SCVs. Whereas we do have gas for our Protoss player as well as that first gateway. And sending out a pretty early scout. Probe heading across the map. And Ninkazi doing this, I've actually seen this multiple times within CTL of just barely starting this extra supply depot to finish the walls, all to prevent scouting. It's obviously something I don't see in pro games, but see all the time in CTL, and really, it's a great idea. I think the pros should do this, man. It really helps out to prevent early scouting, and I mean, you know, the little bit of damage that probe is going to do to that isn't going to do much. That first Marine coming out. In fact, the probe being bold enough to try to attack the Marine. Kind of amusing. Marine nearly taking out the probe for its insult. Anyway, so back home we've got the typical Cyber Core and First Zealot on the way for Endersword. And Ninkazi sending across an SCV to scout. Endersword might be looking to expand pretty soon. Got the probe in place. Or, oh, that's just the probe he was scouting with. It might just be where I left it. Yeah, in any case, got a probe hanging out there. SCV hanging out with the probe. Once again, workers unite. That probe actually deciding to attack the SCV, though. And put down Nexus. And the SCV building a bunker right next to this building Nexus. Now, it's not the best of ideas, because this probe, if well microed, could take down the SCV while it's building the bunker. And the bunker immediately canceled, so bit of a waste of resources there. That wasn't going to work. Really, Ninkazi? That wasn't going to work. There's no way that was going to work. But, in any case, I guess Ninkazi has this bunker here to defend his natural as his base floats over. So both players with a pretty pretty similar second base timing. Ninkazis will be floated into position just a little before Endersword's marks in, but we'll be converting up to an orbital command rather than building SCVs. So, all in all, pretty similar. And this bunker's going to be able to hold the stalker at bay quite easily. Those Marines coming out to chase the stalker back a little. Make sure it doesn't stay right on his doorstep. As there are now enough Marines to refill the bunker again without those. Stalker does just head all the way home, pretty much. Having mostly just lost its shields. But, looks like we've got a little move out coming from Endersword. Kind of massing up his little bits of troops, and another SCV being sent in to scout. For Ninkazi. Nothing to really block it from getting up into the main, but it ends up just deciding to go behind the natural and continue to try to be annoying, I guess. That's how it takes it out pretty quickly. And a forward pylon being warped in for Endersword. And 4 more stalkers warping in back home. Five, actually. 5 gateways up now. So all these stalkers in this mothership core hanging out up here again. There's some zealots. Looks like we're going to see a pretty significant early attack. No blink this time, but just plain going to try to batter his way through the front door and use those sentries to zone out. Those sentries are immediately used to zone everything out, throwing out some really good force fields, keeping the SCVs from tearing the bunker. Not that they're any really in place anyway. As that bunker and all the Marines will go down pretty much for free. All these supply depots going down is actually supply blocked in Ninkazi as he picks up and flies his natural back home. He does have a complete wall off here, but that's a lot of troops and he just doesn't really have that much to fight this with. That natural already burning, it may in fact go down before it can get to safety. It does. Ninkazi, having lost his base, lost even more supply. I lost another supply depot. He is about as supply blocked as you can get at this point, folks. He's only got... he doesn't even have any supply depots. Literally, he has no supply depots. Just the base. We're providing in supply. So the SCV is being pulled, but that's too much. By game, it is it. So what that means for us is that we actually get a third match in this best of 3. First out of the 3 I've cast this week that actually went to the third match. Every other one going 2-0 and out. Ninkazi not quite exiting the game yet, but there's just nothing to do at this point. Another forward pylon and even more zealots coming in to help finish things off is even though the SCV is trying to get into a nice surround, but that's not really getting into much. Not with all those stalkers. There's just way too much Protoss here. Nothing left for them. Well, looks like we're going to go to game 3 pretty quick. Flying away with his factory for whatever reason. I guess maybe trying to just force Ninkazi to track down all of his buildings before so he can bust into the strategy for the third game, because this game is over. This game is very over. And Ninkazi does just GG out. Other than force him to completely take out all the buildings. So that'll be it for game 2.